You only need to train 3 times a week, strength training wise, and you only need to do really like 5x5 on the compound lifts. I like 5x5 as a great all around program. I do dip into other programs as well, but for the most part, all you need is 3 sessions a week, making sure that you're maybe doing a 5x5 or whatever, but you don't need that much work to grow because your body is completely unadapted and it will really respond to any sort of stimulus that you place upon it. When you get to the advanced stage of training, even the intermediate stage, you kind of do need to switch things up, and that's where you need to introduce a lot of assistance work, a lot of accessory movements, a lot of variations as well. Variation work can be the likes of doing pause reps on the squat, on the bench, on the deadlift. It can include doing accommodating resistance, which would encompass the likes of chains, band work attached to your barbells when you're doing squats, deadlifts, bench press, overhead press. And as well as that, maybe doing dumbbell work with kettlebells, wee things like that. Basically providing a whole new stimulus for your body to burst past plateaus and achieve even more growth and more progress. So, moving on then. Another key thing is obviously having low fatigue. You don't want, fatigue is your enemy whenever it comes to building muscle. So again, like I had said earlier, if you're an athlete, this is a bit of a challenge because you're having to do a lot of work during the week. You have your skill-based work, you've maybe got competitions coming up, you've got matches coming up, so you have to balance things. And that's where smart programming really comes into play. If you want to build muscle while being a boxer, if you want to build muscle while playing Gaelic football, whatever it may be, soccer player, you want to bulk up or whatever, you need to really manage your recovery and you need to really manage your volume as well and your intensity. And all those things go hand in hand, volume, intensity and frequency. And again, like I said, it comes down to smart programming and really being in tune with your body as well. Now, as a coach, I'm somebody who can certainly help out anybody, particularly athletes, if they want to build muscle, if they want to put on a bit of muscle in the off season, so that maybe if they're a rugby player as well, for instance, they can go into the season, in the competition season, and they've built a lot of muscle. But not only have they built muscle, they've also developed explosive power, and they've also essentially develop the ability to use the additional muscle. It's not just a case of building slabs and muscle and not knowing how to use it. It's also knowing how to use your muscle, being explosive with your muscle and having speed, because there is a misconception out there that building loads of muscle slows you down. No, it doesn't. Building loads of muscle and only building muscle and only training like a bodybuilder will slow you down. But if you build large amounts of muscle, trust me, if you train the right way and you have a good program, a good strength and conditioning program that works on speed, that works on power output, you will be able to use that muscle and you will have a lot more power. So I'm going to quickly touch on the benefits of building muscle. So obviously it goes without saying, you get stronger, you get more powerful, you get quicker to a degree. It depends now. Obviously, if you get to the point where you have maybe 300 pounds, you're 300 pounds and you have a fucking slabs of muscle and you're basically a bodybuilder at that point, yes, you will slow down. And you will also lose explosiveness as well and power. But listen, not many people really do get to that point. See, even to step on the stage of the Olympia and be an elite level professional bodybuilder, you need to have phenomenal genetics and be taking large amounts of steroids as well. And most people watching this probably don't want that as their goal. Now, also, building muscle enhances your aesthetics. Now, listen, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I know that. Listen, many girls don't give a fuck what you bench. Many girls don't really give a fuck about how much you lift. Maybe girls do kind of care about the way you look. They want a guy who's got maybe a six-pack, maybe not always as well. Everybody's different. Maybe like a guy who has big shoulders, big arms, big chest, whatever. You know, it varies. Everybody has different views on what is attractive and what is not. But, you know, for guys and girls as well, for what you deem to be attractive, for what you deem to be aesthetic, that can be enhanced by building muscle. For girls, for instance, I hate to be cliche, I hate to be generalizing things, but obviously building up your glutes. But guys as well, it's important to build your glutes as well for power development, for power output, for speed as well. Sprinters, all sprinters have really good glutes because they recognise the value of having strong glutes for developing more explosive power. So listen guys, develop your glutes if you want more power, especially if you're an athlete who relies on power. So, as well as that, from a health standpoint, it is healthier to have muscle to a point. Now obviously you can get to the point where you're too big and then at that point you can't really move much. You might find it hard to go and do cardiovascular training and conditioning training, and then that becomes a problem because it is important to do cardio because that keeps your heart healthy, and for other things as well, for your vascular health as well, even your brain health as well. It's important to do cardiovascular training to keep your heart and your brain healthy. So just to sum things up and basically provide everyone with a wee summary, the general nutritional guidelines for building muscle and building muscle optimally are: ensure you're in a hypercaloric diet, which means you're taking more calories in than you're burning. Ensure you're getting an adequate amount of protein, a gram per pound of body weight. Ensure as well that you are eating enough carbs, because carbs are protein sparing and they prevent the breakdown of muscle, and eating enough healthy fats as well. Ensure as well that you're having reasonable nutrient time, and don't be leaving it too late to take your protein. Don't be fasting for large amounts of time during the day. As well as that, there are supplements that can help: creatine, caffeine, multivitamin, certain herbs as well, ashwagandha, zinc, magnesium, to name a few. Again, I could talk all day about that, but that's a whole different topic. And as well as that, hydrated. It's very important as well. You drink enough water, guys, because listen, if you don't drink enough water, your muscles are something like 60-70% water. You're not drinking enough water, you're really going to shortchange yourself when it comes to building muscle. And last but not least, probably the most important factor of all, consistency. I can't really hammer that home enough. You got to be consistent in this game if you want to build muscle and build significant amounts of muscle. It takes time. It's like building a skyscraper from the bottom up. People say, oh, it's like sandcastle, you just throw loads of sand. It's complex. It's very complex. It's very nuanced when it comes to building muscle. Studies have shown that the first 6 months of building muscle, focusing on strength training that you do, actually is what is called a preparatory phase for building muscle. And that if you were to suddenly stop your training for maybe an extended amount of time, you would actually lose a lot of that muscle, because you've only done a preparatory phase, so to speak. So you kind of have to see it as a long game. And I say to clients as well, listen, we could do a 12-week program, but like, in all honesty, you got to be doing this for at least a few years if you want to see serious changes in your physique, serious changes in muscle mass and body composition. This is a marathon, not a sprint. If you want to go take steroids, because you'll get there quicker. But the problem is, you're going to run into health problems, and that's the price you pay. So, as well as that, you need to take into consideration the duration of training. Like I've touched on, you have to see this as a long game that you're going to play. It's not a sprint. You got to take your time when it comes to building muscle. That will ensure that you sustain it and that you will maintain your progress as well. So, listen, everyone, I hope this video has been informative. I hope a lot of people have taken value from it. I hope it's cleared up a lot of myths, maybe misconceptions around building muscle. Again, if anyone wants to hit me up for further advice, further guidance, don't be afraid. Drop me a DM and we can have a conversation. And appreciate it, love you all.